starting with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn back. Honorable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of linguistics. In linguistics, we commenced the chapter that is known as psycholinguistics. Today, I'm going to teach you overgeneralization and overextension. What is overgeneralization and what is overextension? What are the examples and causes of both of them? Listeners and audience, overgeneralization means when a child in first language acquisition applies one grammatical rule to all phenomena, to all situations. In other words, when a child uses one grammatical rule to all situations in grammar, this phenomenon is called overgeneralization. He uses one grammatical rule broadly. For example, in singular and plural, we have regular and irregular phenomena. Similarly, in verb, we have regular and irregular verb. If we take the example of plural form, for example, a child has learned only about regular forms of plural. So he thinks that, for example, the plural form of the chair is chairs because we put either s or es. So he thinks that cat, when we make it plural, it means cats. When we make plural chair, it means chairs, just putting only s in it. Similarly, based on that rule, he is doing the same with irregular form of plural. Like for example, instead of men, he just put s. He said it mans. Or instead of, for example, uh, children, he would say childs. So this phenomena is known as overgeneralization. Secondly, we have overextension. Overextension means whenever a child he actually applies and he uses one word for all objects, and he is doing that broadly. For example, a child has known about a word apple. So now when he look at other categories of fruits, for example, orange, pear, peach. So he applies and makes the use of the apple for all words. If you're talking about human beings, take the example of human beings. For example, if a child, he or she, calls his or her mother ma, first syllable or complete name, for example, mama. So definitely, when he or she sees any woman, so she would say ma. On the other hand, if there is a child and he calls his father pa, so any man, uncle, maternal, paternal, or even a man outside, he or she will use the same word, papa, for all of them. Now the question is, why this phenomena occurs? What are the reasons? There can be so many reasons, but one reason is because of little knowledge. In the first language acquisition, the children, they have little knowledge. With the passage of time, they apply different categories. Secondly, they are doing so because their first focus is on similarities. Like we are talking about the fruits. There are some similarities, based on that they apply. And if you're talking about grammatical rules, they also have little words and little vocabulary. But remember one important point, and that is Overgeneralization and overextension, these are happening in both first language acquisition and second language acquisition as well. It means not only the children they are applying these in first language, but the elder who are actually acquiring second language, they also applying the same categories. It means overgeneralization and overextension happens in first and second language acquisition. Hope that this topic is clear.